Welcome to the Accelerator Programme. I'm super stoked to have you on board, and in this free course we are going to give you some tips, tricks and knowledge bombs to, I quote, accelerate your progress, whether you're trying to drop body fat or whether you are trying to build muscle. So let's jump straight into it. And I guess the foundation for everything is going to be consistency. Because any program that you do follow, or if you do decide to join us inside of Fit Coach, you should be thinking long term, because these short term quick fixes, although you might see results very, very quickly, they're not sustainable. So you're here because you want to be more than average, and you actually understand that results, they do take a long time. You want to build a body and a mindset that performs to the highest standards. Now, the reason 99% of men fail or stay stuck is because they are comfortable and they are complacent. This free course isn't about trying harder. It's to allow you to understand the type of individual that you are and help clear up the mental noise that is society, because there's conflicting information online as to what you should be doing versus what you shouldn't be doing. Should I be following a ketogenic diet, a carnivore diet? What type of resistance training program should I follow? Is it a 3-day split, a 4-day split, a 5-day split? How many steps should I be doing? How much cardio should I implement in my diet? Am I getting 5 a day? There's so many things to think about. But instead, what I want to give you are the tools, the knowledge and the skill set on what actually works for you. And we can break that down into 3 stages. The first one is paralysis by analysis. The majority of men, well, they second guess every single meal. Do I have enough protein in that meal? Do I have any starchy carbohydrates? Do I have enough vegetables or fruit? Am I getting the essential vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients that my body needs? Should I be taking creatine monohydrate, or should I be taking Tonkat Ali because my favorite influencer takes it? And instead, what we want to do is give you clarity on what you should be taking and the things that are going to help to move you forward towards your goals. Number 2, waiting for motivation. The reality is a lot of guys wait until they feel motivated to take action with their health and their fitness. They'll procrastinate for a good 6 to 12 months. I mean, the majority of guys that I've spoken to procrastinate for upwards of 3 years and then decide to bite the bullet and take action. And eventually they do get results, but you always wonder why someone is waiting for that motivation. Motivation will come once discipline is focused on to begin with. And you may not necessarily feel motivated all the time, but those that achieve world-class physiques and also perform to the highest standard, well, they don't let their emotions get the better of them. So if they wake up, they're tired, lethargic, fatigued, they still crack on. They still get on with their lives, and they still almost box tick what I like to call a success list rather than a to-do list. So instead of waiting for motivation, they build a system that works for them to be able to achieve their results. And then number 3, an all or nothing mindset. This is so common. Guys waiting for the perfect time and then they completely fall off. So they may have really good progress for the first 7 to 14 days, and then all of a sudden life gets in the way. They've got increased pressures at work. Perhaps they've got to travel cross country on the weekends. Maybe they've got family events, or perhaps their current plan is just too much for what they can cope with. And that's where they're going to see peaks and troughs in their health and their fitness. So they'll always try to convince themselves that, hey, do you know what? Now is not the right time. I'll give it a month and then I'll try again. Trust me when I say this, there's no perfect time. The perfect time is actually the time it takes you to decide that you need to take action. And I get that a lot of people want to spend time thinking about taking action. Think about how long you've probably contemplated getting in shape, dropping body fat, building muscle, compared to actually taking action and looking at messy progress, because messy progress is still progress, but you are 2 steps ahead than those that are still thinking about taking action. So please don't fall into that trap of an all or nothing mindset. Things go wrong or perhaps nothing goes right. When you take action, that's when you see progress, regardless of how fast that progress is. So here's what changes now. This course is not about watching behind the scenes, and I will be keeping track. It's about executing. So you're going to get a clear framework that delivers results. And we're going to break it down into 4 stages. I'll give you a nutrition blueprint. So I'll help you design your nutrition strategy, allowing you to eat for your goals and remove any guesswork when it comes to complicated meal plans. Number 2, time efficient training. So how long should you actually be training? Because you see sort of top athletes or influencers training for 2 to 3 hours a day. Do you know why that is? Because they have the time to do that. Whereas if you work a job, you don't have that time. So we need to work out a strategy behind how often you should be training and also the quality of those sessions. So we'll run through things like sets, reps, loads, progressive overload, and looking at how you can get a result time efficiently. Number 3, progress tracking. So how do we actually track data? Because you probably track your finances every single month, what comes in, what goes out. We need to do exactly the same when it comes to your nutrition, your sleep, your stress, your recovery, your resistance training. So we need to measure what matters so that you never plateau again. And then finally, building a bulletproof mentality. I don't know if I've ever introduced this. You might have seen it on social media, but I come from a military background. All of my family are in the military. I was one who actually stepped away from the military, so I didn't actually enter, but I grew up for the majority of my life on camp in Germany. And the things that you learn in the military sort of like set you up for life, and it's what I call the 7 Ps. Proper planning and preparation prevents piss poor performance. So we are looking at adding percentages to your armory. If I can give you 1% every single day by running through this course and add that to your armory, well, guess what? It's almost like a game. You're going up in levels and you're going to build that resilience that doesn't break when life gets hard. And that's a common theme that I see when life gets busy. And trust me, it will. You know, if you're settling down, if you have a family, if you're a CEO, entrepreneur, executive, if you're an athlete, or if you've just started a new job, it's very chaotic, right? Or even if you're moving house, that environmental change, life will get hard. And for the majority of guys, they sort of back off because it gets a little bit uncomfortable. And I don't like the saying, get comfortable being uncomfortable. But instead, what I want you to realize is that comfort is this idea where the body is in a state of homeostasis. So it's relaxed, it's recovered. And when we have acute stress, things that change that aren't usually normal to our routine, that is when someone either takes action or procrastinates on taking action. And the guys that procrastinate on taking action, well, guess what? They don't get the result. So this is your sign to follow this course all the way through, regardless of how busy you are, and just sort of test the waters and see what you can achieve. So here's what you need to succeed. And one of my favorite movies is The Wolf of Wall Street. There you can see Jordan Belfort. There's no secrets or hacks when it comes to building a lean athletic physique, much like building monetary status. So if you want to get a pay rise or if you want to apply for a job which is significantly higher paying, there are 3 fundamentals that you need to follow. Now, the first one is going to be commitment. You don't have to be perfect, man. You just need to show up consistently, even when motivation is low. And to kind of give you a little story behind that, when I was at school, I was told by my teachers that I wasn't smart enough for science. And at the time, I wasn't really interested in biology. I was more interested in playing professional football. And when I came out and I decided I wanted to go to med school, guess what? I kept showing up every single day, and my commitment to my overall learning just got better and better. So you need to put the reps in. And I came out with a first class honors. I submitted a medical paper in the Exercise Medicine Journal. So consistency is the most important thing, regardless of what someone tells you, whether your motivation is low, and discipline. I guess moving on to consistency, success is boring. And the reason I say it's boring is you're doing the same things every single day, and it's creating that structure. If you win the day every single day, you hit your steps, you do your cardio, you eat well, you work hard, play hard, well, these small actions are going to compound into remarkable transformations. And the third and final area is going to be clarity. So knowing what you need to do to be able to drop body fat, or to be able to build muscle, or to go through that body recomposition. If you've got a vague goal such as, oh, I want to lose weight, or I want to build some muscle, or I want to drop some body fat, it's not very specific. And I know the SMART acronym is thrown around quite a lot: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound or timely, whatever you've been taught. It worked. And without going into the finer details, you just need to be so clear on, okay, this is what I want to achieve right now. This is how long it's going to take. And don't procrastinate on that. Go 100%. Go full speed, full throttle. Don't take your foot off the gas until you've achieved that goal. And there he is, holding money, pink sheets. So the Fit Coach Standard. Now, to operate at the level you're aiming for, you need to actually lead with 3 principles, and I stand by these every single day. The first one is execution. Don't just plan. You need to act that role every single day. So you want to step into the shoes of your future successful self and think about who you are and where you want to get to. Number 2, discipline. You need to follow through, even when you don't feel like it. So if you're at work and your colleagues are bringing out brownies, or it's somebody's birthday and you're in a fat loss phase, well, guess what? You need to hold yourself accountable, and you need to remind yourself of that end goal, because the more that you sort of negotiate with yourself, well, your standards are going to slip, and also your discipline reaction is also going to slip as well. So make sure that you are operating to the best of your ability. And then number 3, taking ownership. If you make a mistake, that is your fault. Take full responsibility, because your choices and your actions that you take every single day are the result of where you are right now. That's in terms of your physique, that's in terms of work, that's in terms of family. You have the opportunity every single day to become a better future successful self. So if that means learning something, again, adding that 1% to your armory, if that means hitting your steps when you don't feel like it in the pouring rain, then so be it. Take ownership, because when you look in the mirror and you look at where you are in life, that is a result of the actions that you take, and nobody can actually change that for you but yourself. So here's your first win, and I want you to lock in straight away. Inside the school group, I want you to drop this message, okay? I want you to introduce yourself and just say, I'm locked in. And I want you to share your current goal, whether it's to drop 10 kilos of body fat, or to build muscle, or to train 5 days per week. I want something set in stone so that we can hold you accountable, and over this course we can go, well, yeah, we actually achieved that. Or actually, do you know what? We didn't quite achieve that, but instead, this is what we managed to achieve. And again, progress is way more important to me than perfection. The fact that you're in here right now, you're watching this, shows to me that you're an action taker. And if for whatever reason you feel as though you're not an action taker and you are someone that's going to procrastinate in this free course, well, politely piss off. Because all I want is action takers. I want to instill that belief into you that you can be better and improve your health and your fitness long term, rather than making short-term changes and short-term fixes, which ultimately will not get you anywhere, because you'll go back to square one in roughly 6 months. It's scientifically proven. So once you've done that, immediately, I want you to do 3 things, and it shows that you're going to take action. I want you to do 25 push-ups. Feel free to record that, whether it's outside, whether it's inside, pop it into the school group, go for a 10-minute walk. You'd be surprised how steps can be so impactful to your longevity, to your health, to your fitness, and also digestion as well, and also for mental clarity. For me personally, in between like recording videos and my training and catching up with our FitPro clients, I'll do roughly 6 or 7 10-minute walks every single day. I still try to hit 10,000 steps every single day, but those 10-minute walks really do add up. And then number 3, I want you to take a cold shower. And the reason I'm saying take a cold shower, and for some of you probably go, well, I'm not doing that, and you probably won't do all 3. Well, guess what? You're a procrastinator. It just shows to me, and it shows to yourself, that you're not serious about this thing. The cold shower is to create that environment which is a little bit uncomfortable. For me, I've had a cold shower now for, I couldn't even tell you, like probably more than 500 days in a row. And it helps to wake you up. It creates alertness. and it pretty much sets the tone for the day. So do those 3 things. I wouldn't film yourself in the shower, but the push-ups and also the 10-minute walk, that'd be freaking cool to see in the school group if you drop that down below. And like I said, it's your signal to your brain that I'm going to execute this task now, because from what I've seen is that for a lot of guys, you know, it could get to the end of the day, they're super tired, they've had a long day at work, and it's like that negotiation pattern where, oh no, I'll just go to the gym tomorrow. Where instead, we execute the task now, and that's one thing that we've boxed off to become a high performer. So what's next inside this course? Well, now that your mindset is locked in, and for those of you that have stayed here that are ready to crush this thing, we're going to move into an actionable strategy. Number 1, we're going to look at purposeful training. So we're going to look at workout protocols that deliver maximum results in minimum time, because we don't want to spend hours in the gym, right? We've got a life outside the gym. So how can we focus on quantity? How can we focus on quality over quantity? Number 2 is going to look at nutrition mastery. So what should we eat without second guessing or complicated tracking systems? Because if you're someone that eats 3 meals per day, guess what? That's going to work for you based on time management. If you're someone that eats 5 meals per day, guess what? That's also going to work with you based on time management. And then number 3, we're going to look at a systems approach. So how can you make results automatic? How can you operate on autopilot than constantly effortful? Welcome to the Accelerator Programme. Go and crush the next part of this course.